Dive into the abyss of hell. Alright, I'm gonna stop sounding like that. Traverse through purgatory and then find your way into the blessings of heaven. That's basically what Burning Abyss does. And even though that wasn't really much of a pun, Burning Abyss is based on the Divine Comedy, which is a very interesting story, as well as a very interesting concept nonetheless. Burning Abyss is a deck that has always been relevant. I'm serious, it always had some sort of relevancy, just like Mermail. And if you guys want to see those two decks battle it out, the depths of hell and the depths of water, then there is an annotation right there that'll take you straight to the game. In this deck profile, we're going to be going over some really interesting Burning Abyss concepts that could be taken to a competitive level event. Now, when I first built this deck, I wasn't expecting anything more of just a decent deck, but it turns out it has some really interesting things that I want to discuss with you guys about. If you guys like what you're seeing, or if you guys really want to see more of the TheCaliEffect, then go ahead and throw a Dante at the subscribe button. But more importantly, just mill 3 to get that notification bell, because we just too strong. Without further ado, I present to you an in-depth competitive Burning Abyss deck profile. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so on to the deck profile. We're going to start off with 3 copies of Skarm, Malbrink of the Burning Abyss. This is easily one of the more important ones because when it's sent to the graveyard, you get to search one level 3 Dark Fiend monster from your deck to your hand. Also, keep in mind, all Burning Abyss monsters have the effect that if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. And also another hindering effect that if you control a monster that is not a Burning Abyss monster, this card is immediately destroyed. Now, fortunately for us, that they are not conditions, it is an effect, so it can be negated. Next is 3 copies of Farfa, and what Farfa does is really important. When it's sent to the graveyard, you get to banish 1 monster on the field, so it's really important for not only banishing the opponent's cards. If you have a Beatrice on your side of the field, you can tutor it to the graveyard to banish your opponent's cards to disrupt their plays, but you can also send Farfa to the graveyard to banish monsters out of your extra monster zone, and then during the end phase, place the monster in your main monster zone instead, so now you have a free extra monster zone. I wish I could run 5 Farfas. 2 copies of Libic. Libic is really important because, like I said that clause before, your Burning Abyss monsters effects, or your Burning Abyss monsters are destroyed when there's a non-Burning Abyss monster on your side of the field. What Libic does is allows you to special summon your Burning Abyss monster, but its effect is negated, so it allows you to go into some great link or rank plays with the card for free because you can just summon the monster to your side of the field. 2 copies of Alec. Alec is really good. I wasn't expecting Alec to be this damn good. He negates face-up monsters on the field. Now, his timing isn't that great because if you're sending him with Beatrice, your opponent probably can already use the monster's effect in reaction to Beatrice, and then the monster effect will be negated. But his real value is negating monsters' effects that are continuous or monster effects that want to apply their selves while being face-up on the field. Really good at doing that, so that's where I think his true value comes from, and he's just a really good card. We run so many Burning Abyss monsters because you want to stack them all together. But 2 copies of Calcap. Calcap is also a really good card, being able to bounce your opponent's back row and can be sent to the graveyard during the end phase with Beatrice to get rid of your opponent's back row. Next is Barbar. We run 1 copy of this card. Easily the strongest Burning Abyss monster we have out today, but with the worst effects, unfortunately. But don't sleep on its effect. When he's sent to the graveyard, you can banish Burning Abyss cards from your graveyard up to 3 to inflict 300 damage per. So he gets a little bit more damage to Gaga Cowboy and can be a game saver when going into time. Not to mention, like I said, he is the strongest Burning Abyss monster. 1 copy of the Pig. This is the only pork I like. I swear I love the Pig. Seer is really good. When it's into the graveyard, you can special summon a Burning Abyss monster from your graveyard to your side of the field. If it weren't limited, I swear, I try to sneak like 4 copies in this. It's like the best card. It's really good because it, with Dante, kind of creates an infinite loop type thing where Seer special summons the Dante, Dante as the Seer, and you'll never really run out of monsters. 1 copy of Graph. This is a card that could stay at 1. It really isn't helpful, mainly because normally when you're using Graph's effect, you have to hope to God that you have all Burning Abyss monsters or that you haven't already sent Skarm to the graveyard because, your monster is going to be not useful. But Graph is still really good, being able to tutor Burning Abyss monsters from your deck to your side of the field, and maybe if I did see it a little more often, you'd be able to make double Dante plays, and that's always really good. 1 copy of Rubik. Now, Rubik is the monster with no effect. It literally has no effect, but he is the level 3 tuner monster that you can use to make Virgil. And also keep in mind, all these Burning Abyss monsters, some of their effects are not going to be used, so you probably want it to be Libic because he's free. 3 copies of Fiendish Warrior Rhino. Fiendish Rhino Warrior. Say Fiendish Warrior Rhino 3 times fast. Like, seriously. Fiendish Warrior Rhino. I forget it. What this card does is while it's face up on your field, your Burning Abyss monsters can't be destroyed by card effects. So that's really awesome, seeing that they destroy themselves with card effects. It allows you to make your Link monsters, your XE play monsters that are not Dante, and then being able to still summon your Burning Abyss monsters. Also, when it's sent to the graveyard, you can send a monster. Is it a monster? I think it's a monster. You can send one Fiend monster. It has to be Fiend. From your deck to your graveyard. All your Burning Abyss monsters are Fiend, so it's kind of free. One copy of Tour Guide. This is going to wrap up the Burning Abyss core with the extenders. Tour Guide of the Underworld, specifically a Burning Abyss monster to your side of the field. Its effects are negated, so really good. Just tutors your Dante plays. For the hand traps, we ran 3 copies of Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit. I run this over Droll and Lockbird for a couple of reasons. One of them I can't share with you guys right now. You gotta wait for that super secret spicy tech. But more importantly, Ghost Ogre is a really good card. Being able to destroy monster effects might not negate them, but can get rid of the monster, especially if it's bigger than what we can make. It also gets rid of spells and traps that remain face up on the field or need to remain face up on the field to resolve. So it's a really good card. 3 copies of Ash Blossom Enjoy Spring. I guess budget options. I mean, shit, you guys are probably right. If you decided to buy 3 Ash Blossom Enjoy Springs for this deck, you're probably wasting your money. It's a very, very fun deck to play, but I don't think I'd take it anywhere past a regional. So you're not going to see me in a YCS with this deck, mainly because if I have Ash Blossoms, I'm probably going to play the best deck. Nonetheless, it's still a really good card. But again, with those budget options instead of Ash Blossom, you can almost run any hand trap. Literally, whatever you guys think you can run more Burning Abyss cards. I mean, it's really a really good casual deck. So do whatever you guys want. Ash Blossom is really good at negating the opponent's searches. And then lastly, my super duper secret spicy tech. Bro, if I had an advertisement to put in, I would put it in right now just to fuck with everybody. Would that be cool? No? All right. So 2 copies of Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning. And I know you guys are like, wow, TheCaliEffect, why? Well, first of all, Dante is the main monster that you're going to be summoning within this deck. And it's a light monster, so it's banishable by Blackluster Soldier. Also, back in 2014, when Burning Abyss did come out, Blackluster Soldier was ran at 1, unfortunately, inside of the deck. Not only that, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit is a light monster, so it is the target for Blackluster Soldier. And Blackluster Soldier is a target for himself. As you guys noticed, I've only talked about light attributes because dark is plenty of it. This card is really good at being able to double attack, banish opponent's monsters, and really is a sleeper card of this format. It's just, I think decks just haven't had a way to abuse it that much, but it's a really good card. That's it for the monsters. Ooh, for the spells. Let's get into the spells. I spell 3 copies of Pot of Desires. So normally when you have desires and they're bad, you go to hell. Sometimes when you have desires and they're neutral, you go to purgatory. Other times when you have desires, I don't think you ever go to heaven. But that's exactly what Pot of Desires does. It allows us to get our hellish cards from our deck to our hand. Did you guys see that? You saw that? You saw that? I set you up for that pun. I did that. I did that. But Pot of Desires, a banished 10 draw 2. If you guys have seen the Mermo versus Burning Abyss video, it actually, I can't tell you what happened, but Pot of Desires actually came in at an awkward time, which is not only the reason why we run 3, but why we bumped up the main board to 44 cards. You guys will see why I was talking about Pot of Desires, but ultimately it's a good card. As long as you're not banishing Seer, doesn't really matter. 3 copies of another super sexy, spicy tech card. Bro, I swear, if I had some type of advertisement, I'd put it in right now. This card is fucking amazing. 3 copies of Rank Up Magic Astral Force. Now, Burning Abyss players have moved away from their roots, and their roots was Rank Up Magic Astral Force, Karma Cut, Phoenix Swimming Blast, and Blackluster Soldiers. Get back to that, because being able to rank up your Dante into a Constellar Polites not only provides disruption on your opponent's turn, but prevents your Dante from being banished and almost guarantees that you will be able to get your Dante's effect off. Now, Rank Up Magic Astral Force is a very fun card because it allows you to rank up quite a few cards in your extra deck if you decide to use them. For example, you can rank up your Ghost Trick Alucard to a Vampire Bram. I don't run it, but I just thought I'd put it out there. And it's just a really good card. Also, another thing, if you ever so happen not wanting to draw a card, just activate that on your standby phase. It's really good for being milled off too. 2 copies of Enemy Controller. This card is godly in this deck. Tributing a monster on your side of the field that's probably going to be marked for destruction anyways, not a problem. Tributing your Dante out of your main monster zone to take your opponent's monster so you can continue your plays, not a problem. Switching your opponent's monster defense because it's probably bigger than yours, but your Dante is stronger than their monster's defense, not a problem. Enemy Controller has so many uses with this deck. Of course, one copy of Foolish and one copy of Raigeki. Foolish to send those Burning Abysses and Raigeki to destroy my opponent's back row. So, that's it for spells at 8. Bad. You heard that? For traps, we're going to run 3 copies of Solemn Strike, really good at negating monster effects. It actually is a reason why it wins a lot of games. This deck is really good at making Dante and then negating the opponent's card effects and then steamrolling your opponent from there. So Solemn Strike's pretty good. If you decide to run it, Solemn Warning's still a really good card. It's not as good as Strike because Strike hits hand traps, but it's still a really good card. Skill Drain is a complete blowout against most decks in the meta right now. If you were able to activate Skill Drain, you're probably going to win, and then your monster's stronger than yours, so it doesn't matter from there. And then lastly is my super secret tech, again, is Fire Lake of the Burning Abyss. Fire Lake has so many uses for this deck. Seriously, I wanted to run the other card. I completely forget what it's called, but allows you to special summon Burning Abyss monsters or Burning Abyss cards sent from the graveyard to your side of the field. But Fire Lake allows you to disrupt your opponent's board by sending 2 Dantes, hopefully. You get to destroy 3 cards on the other side of the field. That type of destruction needs to be in this type of deck because it needs that type of destruction and probably will win you a game. That is it for the traps at 6. Huh. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, so it was 10 spells and 6 traps. I see what I did there. Now on to the extra deck. Of course, our Beatrice, the Eternal Lady, Dante's girlfriend, his lady thing. She went through hell and high water to be with him. No, come on, you know that one was good. 2 copies of Constellar Polites. This card is the card that you want to rank up your Dante with the rank up magic Astral Force. And keep in mind, your Dante is almost guaranteed its effect. 3 copies of Dante. Now, normally I'd run 2 copies, but I actually made 3 Dantes quite a bit and didn't want to recurse the Dante with the Dante. So I was like, fuck it, just run 3. I have room. 1 copy of number 30 Acid Golem. When you skill drain your opponent, Acid Golem becomes a 3000 beater, just beat your opponent's face in. 1 copy of Phantom Knight's Breaksword. We're not running PK Fire, so this card isn't as powerful as it would be with PK Fire, but it's still a really good card for spot removal. Super Quanto Mech Grand Pulse, really good for back row destruction. Nightmare Shark is a game ender, being able to attack your opponent directly with 2000. Dante, Pilgrim of the Burning Abyss, you guys should have seen this card coming. Can be special summoned with Beatrice, non-targetable 2800 attack monster that can discard cards to draw cards. 2 copies of Danklaw. We'll talk about that sideboard a little later. 1 copy of Virgil, Rockstar of the Burning Abyss. Really good card. Card's just really, like, I swear, I'm debating on running more Rubik just to play more him, because he's really good. Being able to do, get rid of monster threats on the field, card threats on the field, get rid of graveyard threats, and he draws a card when he sits in the graveyard. He's saucy. And then 1 Beat Code Balker for when we just bicking back being boo. That is it for the extra deck. Cards that I really want to point out is Dante and the Decode Talker. We want to run a copy of Decode Talker. And it's not like Link Summoning is something that this deck can just do, but if you were put in that position to be able to Link Summon and still negate all your Burning Abyss monsters' effects, go for it. Decode Talker is going to be the best one, being able to tribute your monsters to gain effects. So if your Dantes are getting tributed, it don't really matter. It ain't nothing but a G thing. So for the side deck is definitely a work in progress. I run no back row disruption, which is something that I didn't really care about because I don't think a lot of great decks play back row. And if they didn't, I can deal with them with like Grandpa's Breaksword and even my Alec, at least long enough for me to hurry up and destroy them quickly. So 3 copies of Vanity's Fiend. This card is awesome. If you go first and you summon this card, your opponent's in for a world of pain because they special summon a lot. 3 copies of Artifact Lancia. This card was in my most efficient budget cards for side deck. It is just a really powerful card, being able to stop cards like Evenly Matched, the Trickstar Reincarnation, and just so many other things alike. It's a really good card. 3 copies of Mash Change 2. This is exactly what you need. You take out those Astral Rank Force, and then you put in the Mash Change 2. You go first, you make Dark Law, your opponent cries. 3 copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance when you go first and when you don't want your opponent to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Because their spell cards are needed. And then last is 3 copies of Evenly Matched. Now, let's say this card isn't so even. So a couple of budget cards that I wanted to talk about, if you guys can't afford the Evenly Matched, I know they're kind of expensive. Kaijus are still pretty decent. They're not really great against like the meta decks, but they're really good against like, Spiral Sleeper and Spiral, so that's not terribly bad. And then True Dracos. And then Mistake was a card that I wanted to finish, as well as just back row disruption if you guys are seeing a lot of back row in your local level event. That is it for the main deck instead of combo tutorials, because there's really no combos. I'm gonna give you guys some test hands and tell you guys what exactly I would do in a certain situation. All right, so we're gonna be using this Lava Battle Swap Battle. We're gonna use him as a field marker, and I know this is awkward for me, but it shouldn't be for you. I'm gonna start off with Rank Up Magic Astro Force Calcab, a Farfa, another Farfa, okay, and an Alex. So this is actually a pretty good hand, as much as you guys are like, damn, this gotta suck. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna special summon the Alex to our side of the field and normal summon the Farfa. Use both of these monsters to make the Dante. So now we're gonna use Dante's effect, detaching the Farfa to send 3 cards from the top of our deck to the graveyard. Oh my god, okay, I obviously didn't shuffle too well. So Fiendish Royal Rhino's effect is gonna activate. Oh, like double Fiendish Royal Rhino, that's fucking perfect. It's only gonna make, this deck is pretty lit. We're gonna use that to send Graph, which is going to special summon Skarm. We're also gonna banish our Dante with our Farfa. And I know you guys are like, TheCaliEffect, why would I do that? Because I can, nigga. We actually should have used Calcab instead of the Alec, but it kind of doesn't matter. So next, we are going to activate our Calcab's effect to special summon itself, and then use these 2 monsters for our second Dante. Where is our second Dante? Boom. And then activate our Dante, sending Skarm to the graveyard for 3 more cards. Okay. 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 And then we could make Beatrice. I am very tempted to make Beatrice. I won't make Beatrice. What I will do is activate Rank Up Magic's Astral Force. And then I'll have a Constellar Polites on my side of the field, as well as a Dante. So your ending board is going to look like this. A Dante that's going to recurse you any of these lovely cards in the graveyard. A Constellar Polites that could also negate or send bounce a card on the field and disrupt the spell or trap card, or add another card from your deck to your hand. Really good. That was a pretty awesome combo, and you guys could have did it a couple of other ways to make some good boards. I'm telling you, man. Y'all like, dang, TheCaliEffect, you got it. You got it. This deck low-key sauce. Let me show you another one. Let me show you another one. Now, as you guys can see, the hands were kind of cloggy. I actually did have everything sorted, but let's try for one more. Let's try for another one. Hey, Barrett, do you think I get him with another one? Hey, if you guys are liking this, make sure you're hitting that like button and sharing it with your friends. This Burning Abyss deck profile just might bring your friend back into Yu-Gi-Oh! So looking into the second hand, we're going to draw a Tour Guide from the Underworld. Do I need to draw another card? We're going to draw Raigeki. We're going to draw BLS. We're going to draw Farfa. And we're going to draw Alex. So this hand, I would actually just summon the Tour Guide from the Underworld. Underworld would bring out... Ooh, we can do so many things. We're just going to bring out the Skarm. We're going to play really conservative this time around, just to show you the conservative approach to the deck. We're going to use both of these cards to make Dante. Dante to send the Skarm. So Fire Lake, Desires, and Barbar. We're not going to use Barbar. And then next, we're just going to go ahead and make the Beatrice. We play so many Burning Abyss monsters, so we can always be able to make cards like Beatrice. Cards like Beatrice and Dante to our side of the field as many times as possible. So this time around, we can actually send the Dante to our graveyard. Oh, I'm sorry, Skarm, End-Phase Skarm Search. Blah, Skarm Search. I'll get the pig, because if I top deck the Desires, I'm gonna cry. If I Desires the pig, I'm gonna cry. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add the pig preemptively. And basically what I'm saying is during our opponent's turn, we can send like the Dante to send the Farfa, banish the card, activate Dante, recurse any other card, and then being able to special summon the BLS to our side of the field already with this deck. So that's pretty good. I'm going to show you guys one more test hand, and let's get it on, man. I know y'all like it, what y'all seeing right now. This is pretty good, is it not? You feeling this? Everybody like, oh, Burning Abyss makes up, man. These fields are free. These fields are more freer than slavery. All right, I probably shouldn't be saying that. It's free. So, last hand. Looking at some really awesome cards. We're going to draw the Skill Drain, the Rank Up Magic Astro Force, a Farfa. Why does Farfa keep going? Another Rank Up Magic Astro Force. No! Can we get another Burning Abyss in his house? That is not a great hand. We actually only run 3 copies of Rank Up Magic Astro Force just so we can see one, but we don't want to see 2. If we had another Burning Abyss monster, which this is not, oh man, that's pretty terrible. I'm gonna run that back. Because again, This deck isn't shuffled thoroughly, but if we would add another Burning Abyss monster, we would have been okay. We actually would have been more than okay. We would have been pretty nice. So running it back, here comes the moment of truth, guys. Are we gonna go 2 for or 3 for 1? Or are we gonna go 2 for 2 today? Regardless, we're gonna end this on a good note, and I think that's exactly what this deck is gonna allow us to do. So I'm shuffling pretty decently. You gotta excuse me. So we draw a Burning Abyss monster. A strike, okay. A strike. So all we need is another Burning Abyss monster. A Fiendish Royal Rhino, perfect. And then another Burning Abyss monster. So what we're gonna do is normal summon the Rhino, special summon the Alec, and then use both of these monsters to make the Dante. Dante effect is gonna discard the Rhino. We're gonna mill 3. So Cowcab, Libic, Farfel. Whoa. Whoa, we have so many plays right now. Do I want to go double Dante? I mean, a part of me wishes that I would have added, or a part of me wishes that instead of double strike, I would have drawn another Burning Abyss monster, because we do have plays for days. We can banish the Dante, send the Graph, Graph is going to summon Skarm. Where's our Skarm? Libic's gonna special summon Alec, and then we can make another Dante. And that's what's so cool. Like, if we would have sent any other extender, we would have been able to make Beatrice Dante. Or if Solemn Strike was even a Fire Lake of the Burning Abyss, we would be in a pretty good position. Not saying that this is a bad position, because we're going to send 3 more cards, another Fiendish Royal Rhino or Rake Up Magic that we can add on our next turn. And we're going to gain the Skarm, the sad tour guide, from our deck to our hand, as well as 2 strikes and 2 Dantes. So that's a pretty good board. I'm actually really liking how this deck goes. If you guys want to see this deck in action yet again, please, let's get to 100 likes. If you guys are saucy, we can get to 150. But thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the TheCaliEffect. She's looking at me like, 150, nigga, you crazy. I really hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys would like to support this channel, then all you have to do is go to Patreon. We have some awesome rewards. People that want deck profiles, you get deck profiles. People that just want to see me stream, you can see me stream. Just check out Patreon. I'm telling y'all, at the very least, let your boy hold the dollar. Come on, little boy from across the street. Little dude, come on now. Let me hold the dollar. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy.